Gemini, this is Morgan with Compass Rose Astrology, and today we're going to go through your tarot and astrological chat for March. And I'm going to talk through all the transits that are coming up this month, and then we will tie it in with some tarot and then pull an oracle deck for you after to kind of give one final message. And just so you know, I do these readings from the rising sign point of view. You might see on this little board over here, this astrology board, that we have Gemini in the first house, which means we're moving from the Gemini rising sign. However, I do think that it would be beneficial to possibly watch some of the other videos that pertain to your sun and your moon sign. I feel that way because you might have like some strong aspects coming towards your sun sign or your moon sign, and that might help tie in some of the messages or some of the feelings that you're going through this month or some of the things that pop up for you. These are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And yeah, okay, so let's just jump in. Actually, wait, let's go through the transits because we got some fun ones. So first and foremost, Gemini, I want to say that finally, Mars is moving out of your first house. Like party hats, woohoo! It's going to be moving into Cancer at the end of the month after 8 months in your first house. So whatever like big life lessons that I think you've had are coming through and coming to an end finally. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here. We also have Venus and Jupiter making a conjunction in your 11th house in Aries, and that's really wonderful. I think that the two benefics in astrology coming together in your 11th house of friendships and publishing, kind of broadcasting, could really bode well for you. So make sure you have some fun with that. And we also, finally, after like 6 years, Saturn is moving out of one of its own house-ruled signs, and this one's Aquarius. So it was in Capricorn for like 3 years, Aquarius for 3 years, and it's finally moving into Pisces. Finally going to give us a little bit of a break when it comes to that stern, must do what's right kind of air, and sense of responsibility, and move into the really wonderful kind of lighter, more ethereal world structure of Pisces. And also we have Pluto moving out of your 8th house of Capricorn into Aquarius for just a couple months. It's going to be in Aquarius until June, and then it's going to move retrograde back into Capricorn for a bit, but then it will move right back into Aquarius, and it will be there for like 20 years. So this upcoming transit into Aquarius is going to be a bit of a preview of what to expect for the next 20 years. So we'll see through our tarot what's being lit up for you. It could be some of the Pluto-Saturn stuff. It could be your first house. It could also be your 11th house with Jupiter and Venus. So before I get into that, let me just cleanse the space. And I have a rose and sage bundle here. It smells beautiful, along with my cleansing candle that I made. And let's just say thank you so much to Spirit for providing clear, concise, positive, fulfilling messages for Gemini. We dispel any negative energy and make room for positive energy, clear messages, and purposeful intent. Thank you so much, Spirit, for your guidance and for your messages. Okay. So let's see. Let's just get into what you've been going through, Gemini. And since we do have so many transits going on, or planets moving out of their signs, this is definitely the month of huge shifts and huge transformation. I know it's a very kind of a vague word, but it is transforming. You know, there's a huge shift, a huge change in how we think and how we present ourselves. So I swear, Spirit's messing with me today. It's so fun. Okay, what else is Gemini going through? What else is Gemini going through? moment card. Okay. Okay, love it. Awesome. Okay. So I was called to look at the bottom of the deck. So we have here the Seven of Pentacles for you. And this is definitely the vibes I was getting here. So the Seven of Pentacles is basically being stuck in the daily grind and the motion, or in the, I don't know where that was taking me, but in the just the regular motion of daily life and kind of the mundanity, and maybe feeling like you're just moving the wheels and not getting anywhere. And I really do think that this has come, perhaps you feel like you've been on a bit of a roller coaster, because we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have Justice, and then we have the Five of Pentacles. I feel like you've been on this bit of a roller coaster of good luck, bad luck. It's like when you think you're up, there's a really big down, and then when you think you're up again, there's another really big down. And I feel like you're I think you're a level-headed sign, Gemini. I think you know that that's the way the world works, and that's how life happens, you know? Nothing stays the same. But I feel like this has been incredibly draining for you, and it's especially made you question a lot of choices that you've been faced with. I feel like perhaps you feel very, because we have the Justice, which is obviously the Libra card here in the middle. So if you have any Libra placements, this might be pretty strong for you. This could also be very strong for Taurus and Sagittarius. So if you feel like you've been stuck in like the never-ending grind and trying to possibly make your way out of it, or make your way out of this really terrible like roller coaster of emotions, which to be honest, I don't think many air signs enjoy that. But you're also afraid to kind of, or possibly it's just been making you feel very alone, going through all of this stuff. And you've tried to stay very strong, very, very cool and collected, but it's instead made you feel very abandoned. And there's not a lot that can happen to make you feel better, to be honest. Even when things are looking up for you, there's still this sense of self-sufficiency and not being able to rely on other people. And that like maybe you're the one that has to be the most responsible here. And it's just really wearing on you. All right, let's see if we can get what you're currently going through now, Gemini. Oh, lordy, how many cards is that? Okay. All right, so alrighty. Oh boy. Okay. So the first thing, so we have the Seven of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. This is very much saying that there is a moment that you've had to deal with where you've had to learn to put yourself first. This is incredibly indicative of that, and I get that mostly because we have the Six of Swords here, and this is ruled by Mercury. So I really think that a lot of this is happening in your first house. So there's something big that's really had to shift for you in your first house about maybe how you present yourself or how other people see you. And you've had to tend to, this is the card of the inner child. You've had to tend to yourself because I feel like you've gone through way too much heartbreak and sorrow. There's been way too much feeling left out and being just overall neglected and abandoned, and just being the one that has to be the rock here or has to be the strong one, and being alone. And so you kind of took that, and I feel like you finally made some strides towards putting yourself first, because you're I feel like you are an independent person, Gemini. And we also do have like Mars right in the center here, so this is definitely the first house matter. But I do see that this is also ruled by Saturn, so I wonder if like maybe it's been kind of like a struggle of like going against some of your previous conceived notions and ways that other people perceive you and believe in you, basically. And you've had to kind of make a choice to put yourself first. And, you know, like in this card, if they were to take any of these swords out, it would sink their boat because there would be a hole and it would fill with water. And I feel like you made a choice recently to make sure that you stayed afloat, and it could have caused some conflict. I personally feel like this might have been more conflict in your own mind of being able to be that person to be there for yourself, since maybe sometimes you don't feel like other people are there for you. And it might have been very hard and kind of hurt in a way, you know, because you didn't want to let anybody else down, but there was just a sense that you have to do this by yourself. And I think this is wonderful, because this is telling you that this is bringing you into some sort of like, you're very independent, and it is making you incredibly even more self-sufficient, but it's also bringing you to a sense of peace that I feel like you might have been lacking recently. And I think it's just a more of a kind of a sense of like maturity here for you, that you can't push everyone's boat along when their swords are all pulled out of the wood, right? Like you can only keep yours going. And if someone else accidentally or, you know, purposefully pulls out some of the swords, then it's up to them to figure out how to bail out their boat. Sometimes you have to keep yourself in mind and make sure that you're taken care of, because maybe you haven't felt like that in a long time. Okay, cool. Let's see if I can get some advice from Spirit on what's coming up. Okay, let's see. There's more messages. Yeah. Oh, this is beautiful. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups at the bottom for you. So I do think that this is indicative of staying true to yourself and not being like distracted by some of the things around you that people might try to get you to be distracted with. Because coming up, I think, especially, so I know this is going to happen in a couple of years, but this reading is mostly for your first house, Gemini. So Uranus is going to be going into your first house. Not for a while yet, but that's the way it's moving. And so I think this is really saying that you have the potential to set yourself up really well for that transit. The world is kind of your oyster right now. When you take control and take responsibility for your sense of comfort and abilities and worth, the world just kind of opens up. And I think that you're looking for a sort of connection that will be emotionally fulfilling and also provide you a sense of kind of like having control over your future and your life. And I know that like we see with the Wheel of Fortune, that life changes, everything changes. You know, you don't have any say in the good and the bad things coming your way sometimes. But this is your chance to kind of set you up for success when it comes to the ups and the downs. When you know that you put your all into making the most balanced kind of well-intentioned decisions that is going to set you up for complete success. And I think it's also, you're really leveling up here to become the person that you want to be. Because, you know, it's no fun being the person that gets kind of trodden on. And I feel like you've kind of had enough of that, and you've had enough of people taking advantage of you, or you being basically the punching bag when life gets hard, you know? It's not fair to you be the only one to make sacrifices to make things better, right, Gemini? So this, so we have the Three of Wands. I didn't even explain. Three of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Cups. So I think these cards are the choices that you have to make coming up to really become like your highest level self. And we have a sense of like the kind of world being open to you, whether that's career oriented. It could be maybe you will feel more free, basically, of like that wheel of fortune coming at you, and that you'll have more ability to make some choices and make decisions that really feed into your best self, because we have you looking here for abundance and compassion and just like a really strong spiritual connection to something. And by allowing yourself to be open and to also be strong within your own right, allows this energy, allows for you to really step into this energy. And there's something here about being really strong within yourself and being fine with being that independent person, because I think there's a sense here of having to get away from possible codependency. And I think that Uranus here in the 12th house is kind of trying to break you of that as well. What if that is codependency for you? It could be someone else's dependency on you. And that might be kind of bringing you down a little bit because you have to be so strong for them. But there's a sense here that there's a sense of independence here that needs to be cultivated and will allow you to find that really beautiful, loving connection again, but in a very healthy way. Excellent. That's great, Gemini. Let's see. All right. Instantly got an oracle card. Pose brave flight. Oh, I love this. Okay. You will not let fear stop you this time. All right. So let me read from the guidebook. And I don't want to lose anything, any messages that Oracle might be trying to convey. So let me just read this to you. Most of us are encouraged to stay safe, to avoid what may hurt us, and thus we shrink day by day. Many religions and cultures have supported this notion of staying safe above all other enterprises for over 2,000 years. They have encouraged us to feel separated from a place of beauty and peace called heaven, suggesting again and again that we have been punished because we are here on earth. Many mainstream religions have discouraged us from seeking our own personal connection with the divine, told us that our bodies are sinful, that nature is to be dominated, and that our natural desires are somehow wrong. We fear pain and we feel guilt when we experience suffering. We must have created it. But the truth is that simply by being alive, you will be challenged. The truth is you have chosen to come here to evolve, and your best opportunities for learning and being taught great lessons lie in the moments others call painful. Whatever frightens you now is exactly what you must do. The truth is, as Poe is demonstrating, the humblest creatures, even the pigeons, can fly high and far and have much to teach and show us. By taking that chance, by doing something outside of what we consider to be safe, we will learn and be blessed with the experience of divinity on this planet. Humans are preoccupied with what is fair and easy. That sounds scary, they say. I don't know if I could do that, they murmur, looking longingly at places and adventures they wish to have, yet which they insist on cheating themselves out of. You see, the new and exciting frightens you, and you are obsessed with avoiding fear. You want there to be no difficulty at all. You are consumed with avoiding pain. You will do anything to avoid uncertainty. And in the rush for all the security and comfort, ease and lack of challenge, you are forgetting how to be fully alive. You are beginning to live as though challenge and change are some kind of curse. I too am frightened. So too have been all your heroes, all the great ones, but they would not let their fear rule them or corrupt their dream. They were frightened of heights, but they flew anyway. Today, climb on the back of one you can take you higher, who has offered you assistance, and take the chance. Trust and fly. You will not fall with this trusted friend, and in taking this chance, your fears will transform into exhilaration, excitement, and sheer life force. You're going to be offered a chance to do something out of your normal reality, and instead of thinking it through again and again and analyzing its risks until you are immobilized, Poe's Brave Flight asks you to take this suggestion of another and fly high. There will be a message that comes to you via text or an email, and it will be up to you whether you respond or whether you ignore the call. This could be a trip where air travel is involved, or an experience where you will have to take some chances and be uncertain of what will happen. You must allow certain uncertainty to enter your life, because your life is being slowly killed by all the safety. Take the chance. Travel, explore, and overcome a fear of flying. All will be worth it, for you will discover something wonderful about yourself in return. You're brave and capable of greater things. That's so wonderful, Gemini. I think that really speaks to this card here, the Three of Wands, about taking a chance and moving into something new that might be a totally different zone than you're used to, and allowing yourself to be that strong and capable person that you know you are. Awesome. So, Gemini, let me know if this resonates, or if you have any fun stories that might be similar to the tarot or the astrology. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.